Dear friend, we've been hit by a real catastrophe. The rail station is completely broken. We're drowning in the big mud. We call it the big mud. If you could help our environment and bring back the train, that would be perfect. Let's stay positive. Is this going to be like a cat island? So I guess I gotta just like suck up water and clean. I only have I grew like some lemons once and grew some chilies once, but they just like, they came in those like pre-packaged things, you know? And then after one growth of them, they died. Because I forget. So cacti is the extent. Cacti and plastic, unfortunately. Oh yeah, suck up the rubbish, and then recycle. But it would be nice to potter around at some point, wouldn't it? Get those. What did I just get? Just a bunch of missions. Amelie, 10 gift subs. Thank you. That is very, very kind, very generous of you. Thank you so much for 10 gift subs. Enjoy those emotes, whoever got them. Left a little rubbish there. Thank you. That is very, very kind. More water. Ah, that's my tank in the top left. There we go. I'm slowly getting to grips with this. Wash away some mud. Where did this mud come from? It's just dumped here. No. Lots to recycle. And I collect points. Okay. Power wash sim, but filthier. Although I don't know about that. There's some pretty filthy stuff in Power Wash Sim, but I guess muddier? Clumpier? Lumpier? What's this? Big mud. When that big mud came down there. I literally feel like replaying Red Dead 2 sometimes, just because I want to like talk to myself like that for a few hours during playthroughs again. Literally had so much fun the first playthrough. One of those games that I wish I could go back and like play for the first time again and like record a playthrough and all that kind of thing and just experience it for the first time again. Like, that is up there as one of the top games for that, I think. Why can't I pick this up? Ah, I have to click on it. That makes sense, of course. Click on things. Like, Red Dead 2 is one of those for me. Probably Last of Us. I'm, like, still playing the remake, and that's, like, nice. I wish I could play it, like, completely blank in my mind, though. What else? What other games stand out for that? Those are probably, like, my top 2, honestly. Maybe Divinity Original Sin 2. Like, I love that game. That was a really good game. I wouldn't want to like forget my time playing that, but like to experience the story again, like that's a wonderful game. I feel like it's always story games, right? It's the things, the adventure that you want to forget, the kind of twists and turns and the way things are going. I can't really think of any not story game where I'm like, man, I wish I could wipe my brain and play that again. I wish I could play FIFA 19 again and not have any memory of playing FIFA 19 before. That was the glory days, that was, when I first picked up FIFA. For my sins, I actually used to play FIFA a lot. Very, very much back in the day. We're talking like a long time ago. I did enjoy the Fiefs. To be honest, there you go. I've admitted it. I've admitted it, okay? Listen, it was alongside playing all the RPGs and story games and everything else. It was because I liked playing the Ultimate Team, where you put together your own team. And it was kind of like an RPG, because you had to collect cards, and then you would get the cards, and that would make your team, and then you would play people online, and it spoke to my competitive side and my RPG side. And my team was called Gotham City, okay? Still repping the nerds, even when I'm playing FIFA, it's fine. Man, all these bricks everywhere. I'm sorry, but Gotham City is an amazing name for a football club. Still so proud of that. But I'll never go back. Started talking in a ridiculous southern US accent, playing Borderlands co-op as a joke, do it automatically half the time. I mean, it's a very fun accent to do, isn't it? Especially for Brits, and I feel like Brits are pretty good at it for some reason. We always seem to end up in shows doing it, like in The Walking Dead and stuff. Seem to lean that way. So what do I need? I can repair this with 3 of those. Maybe I have to find them amongst all of this. So I've got to restore this area. Oh, there's a cat. Hello? A cat would never hiss at me, so that's just my immersion immediately ruined. It's never happened in my life. And it will never happen. Get some water. End cat slander. An intense campaign. I commented on some like random cat TikTok about how I haven't had to like discipline cats. So it was like basically they were talking about disciplining cats and like how you shouldn't use spray bottles, shouldn't use, you know, shake tins and these kinds of things, because cats aren't really like dogs in that way of training. I've had cats my whole life. I was like, yeah, I've never really had to discipline cats. This whole rhetoric that cats are jerks is like kind of lame, you know? I don't know what the comment was, but I get like replies every so often, people being like, well, I've got a cat and he's real mean to me. And I have to, it's like, I'm not here to debate you. I'm just telling you what my experience is, okay?
Morphy cheer one, 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 Morphy cheer one.
No breath required.
Cheer one, Morphy cheer one, Morphy cheer one, Morphy cheer one.
Cheer one. Cheer one. Ran out of batteries at the end. Amelie, thanks so much for the 1037. Oh, I should have watered these trees. Thank you so much. For the bits. Morphy cheer one. Can I water these? Oh, I can. Even just everything that's brown. What about this grass here? No. Oh, I should suck this up. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Cats is just like very much like a patience thing. Feral cats, no. Feral cats for sure. They hiss at everyone. Takes a long time. Had 2 ferals that I can remember in my life, I think. May have like had others briefly, but 2 that we kept like for their entire life. Bush. There we go. Don't have any more stuff there. Let me get some water. Water. Do this tree. Splooshin. Splooshin. Blessed baby. What's up? What's up, Sally? It seems nice so far. Just wanted something chill where it's like no pressure, you know? You ever just feel like you want to play something, but you're intimidated by how long it is as well? Because that's kind of like how I feel about Red Dead and stuff, like doing replays in a game where I'm like, yeah, it's like a 50-hour commitment, you know? Which is also why those games you can just jump into and like play for a bit. Like I'm playing quite a bit of Overwatch 2 at the moment. Stuff that you can just jump in and do an hour and then dip out is like so attractive, you know? It's like when someone tells you to watch a show and you're like, how many seasons are there? And they're like, oh yeah, it's on its like 12th season. You're like, I'm never watching this. Like, where am I gonna begin? Where am I gonna do that? Yeah, there's this great book series, you should read it. Oh cool, it sounds amazing. How many books are there? Well, it's about 8 books in. Takes about 15 hours per book. Right. Let me just cancel everything in my diary. Oh, better get rid of this brown water. Dreamlight Valley. We just did Dreamlight Valley last... was it Friday? Whenever the update was, we got on. But I wasn't like far enough to do the Scar stuff, so we just did the Ursula things. And then I was totally planning to like carry on and try and get the Scar stuff done, but because of Halloween, I've had like so much other stuff that I've been recording. September and October, like late September, October has been insane. Like so many indie games came out. So stuff keeps getting in the way. But I'm a fan of Dreamlight. Potionomics, I just finished a full playthrough today. So that's gonna... there's the demo is on there, like the first hour. But the full playthrough will come whenever it's edited. But it was like a 20-hour playthrough, so it's gonna take a minute. Oh no. Try and get it out as soon as I can though. I really liked it, but that game is long. That game is... that game is longer than it needs to be. But I got to the point with it that I got so far, I was like, I have to finish this. Like, because I was enjoying it, but bloody hard. There's a 20-hour playthrough, and I've currently got 7 hours of footage in the editor, and I'm just like, what have I done? Why do I do this to myself? Good times. I will say that game has 100% the best cast. If you like romance stuff and like choosing, oh, who am I going to date? Who am I going to date? Like the most dateable cast I can think of in a game. And I said it during it, but I don't know if like that's going to be in the edit or what, but it's just, it stands out. Like Stardew, I feel like there's what, like 2? Everyone always dates like the same person. Everyone has their type. They always play into like some archetype. I never know if it's archetype or archetype, but where you're like, oh, that's my person. Oh, that's the one. I felt like with Potionomics, it was very much like, oh my god, like who to date? Date them all. So I'm like collecting things down there. Ah, I think I can repair the clock now. There we go, more points. I have 2, was it 2 boxes? 3, okay, find another one. But yeah, I really liked it, honestly. Potionomics. So look out for that, and look out for I just did Devil in Me, a preview of it, which is like the Until Dawn, Man from Medan, those ones, Dark Pictures Anthology, the new one, which is scary. Scary. Can I pick these up? No? Ah, you're hissing because I haven't fixed your house yet. What does it need? 3 planks. I've got 1. Alright, let me find some more for you. Kitten. I haven't watched Bob's Burgers yet, no. Gotham Knights, I would like to check out. I was very close to getting it when it first came out and trying to do it, but just had to prioritize other things, unfortunately. But for myself, I love the Arkham games and Batman stuff, so I'll probably pick it up at some point. Hearing really mixed things about it, but I'll still get it and try it, because it's just, I love those games. Like Arkham City is probably one of my favorite games ever, maybe. I don't know. It's a good one. It's a good one. And it doesn't look as good as the Arkham games, but it looks good enough that I want to try it, you know? What's up? Chauncey? Shell, hello. Maybelline, hello. I think you've been in, but I didn't get a chance to say hello yet. Anyone that I've missed, hello, hello. Favorite Robin? You know, I don't really like know the lore well enough to like have a favorite Robin. I know there's like been a few though. I do love Batman. Batman's probably my favorite superhero, or up there. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say Chris O'Donnell, you know? Alongside Georges Clooney, I just thought he really personified the... Me as a kid actually liked Batman and Robin, the film. Probably haven't seen it since I was about 12, but, you know. That's the one where Jim Carrey's the... No, that's the one... Batman and Robin is Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, right? And then... Which is the Jim Carrey one? The Riddler. And with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face as well is a good one. No, that was Batman and Robin, because Two-Face was with... Mate, those two films just more merge into one, don't they? I love Jim Carrey. Shanzay, got it, thank you. Bum, bum. Batman and Robin. Clear this train track. I kind of love how there's just so many Batman films that are so incredibly different to each other, like how directors and writers have like interpreted different source materials. From the campiest, most gothic stuff to the gritty noir and detective world of Christopher Nolan's, to like the kind of somewhere in between Robert Pattinson Batman. It's great. Like Spider-Man movies, all kind of the same vibe, right? Superman movies, like all kind of the same vibe. Like Batman is different every time. Oh wait, restore nature. Hang on, I can do a thing. Bunnies. Or bunny, singular. Michael Keaton as Batman? Yeah, I mean, it's the saddest thing about the Batgirl. Was it Batgirl or Batwoman? But the Batgirl, like, cancellation was Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and also Brendan Fraser as, was it Firefly? I'm sure the movie was terrible, but I would have watched it. I would have liked to have seen that, you know? Can I... No? Okay. Danny Donut, thank you. Enjoy the lurk, and thank you so much for saying. I appreciate it. Mr. Explosion, 87 months. Thank you very much for the support. Good to see you. Can I water these? Can. I have to know where to start here. Bum 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 bum. The recent one's really good. It's worth watching. Very long. Need another one of those. Pattinson, good as Batman. I'll admit, when that was announced, I was one of those people that I was like, Robert Pattinson? The Twilight kid? You know? Like, I hadn't seen him in anything. And then before Batman came out, like, I watched him in Good Times, and I think it was just that one, or maybe in something else as well. I think he was in, like, Tenet as well, and stuff like that. I was like, wait, this guy can really act. And then he was actually a really, really good Batman. A really good Batman. I still don't buy him as Bruce Wayne, but it's fine. He's like a young Bruce Wayne. Kid can act though, you know what I mean? I got some chops on you. You're gonna go far, kid. Another cog. Always just with Robert Pattinson, I just think about this guy that one of my friends dated who, like, he just kept saying that because he went to, like, the same drama club or something for a while as him. And in his mind, if he carried on with it, like, it should have been him, which is fair enough. We've all been there, but, like, just because you're at the same drama club doesn't really mean that could have been you. Do you know what I mean? He was like, whatever, I wasn't even a good actor when he was in the drama club, so I was always better than him. You know, it's whatever. It's like, what? It should have been me. Dun, dun, dun. Harry Potter actually came to my school for auditions for the people that the drama teachers put forward, and the drama teacher that they asked hated me and didn't put me forward. I was like, you... Oh. How dare you? How dare you hold me back when the auditions come a-calling, eh? Planks. Because I always did comedy stuff and improv, and they hated it. I'm like, this isn't how you get good marks. This isn't how you get an A and a B. We need drama. Every character had to have, like, you know, some tragedy and all the rest of it, and it's like, I just want to make people laugh, miss. What are you saying? The laughter, the crowd, that's my Oscar. You get me? She was like, oh, I get you. Harry Potter's here. You're not auditioning. I can do drama. I talked exactly like that as a young teen. What are you saying? And I never did, I never got to do like the school plays because they were always musicals, and I have stage fright when it comes to singing. So I could never like get involved in the drama any more than that. There was only one play that wasn't a musical, and I did that one. But otherwise it was always Grease or Oliver Twist or something, and I was like, nah, dude. Always musicals, yeah. I guess it's because that's what they can get people in to buy tickets for like the parents and stuff, right? No one wants to see Lorca. Bump, bump, bump. I should probably upgrade things. Hang on, I have experience points. Let me hide this for a start. That's ugly on the screen. What was the experience tab? I'm just sitting on so many points, aren't I? Yeah, upgrade the power of the hose. The power of the hose. That's what we want. Power Hoover, more suck. Yes, there we go. I was thinking, it was like suddenly like this hose is not powerful enough. But now we are going. I fixed it. Made a clock. Give it a wash. Comedy is harder. I agree. So much like more goes into it. I feel like anyone can half-ass their way through like a dramatic script and be kind of half emotional with it. Do you know what I mean? Comedy timing and improv is a ridiculous like thing. But did she respect that? No. There were 2 teachers there who did respect it and who were very encouraging and liked everything that I did, but not her. But, you know, I wouldn't have got it anyway. We were like too old at the time. We were too old to be like the young kids. I think it was just for like some of the background characters or something. Because they were like weenie when those movies first came out, weren't they? They were like 8 or something. The babies. I could do this voice though. Harry Potter. Has you thought about having a goblin character in this? I can do the mocap. Next. Ah, sunflowers. Were all of the books done when the first, like, film came out? Or were they still ongoing? They were still ongoing, right? It wasn't, like, done. But, like, a few were in, I think. Oh, here there's some Dobby in the future. I can do that one. What do I need to fix this? 5 of those. I've got 4. Okay, getting there. Let's do these trees. Cast as a goblin in Gringotts. Sounds amazing. Is the goblin from Gringotts. Gringo the Goblin. Oh, second stage. Just do an entire Hogwarts Legacy as a goblin. Nature. Auto Hoover. Pocket Recycler. Let's save up some more points there. Should clear the trainway. Praise. What was your favorite subject? Mine was probably drama, to be honest. What about you guys? Fish. I always looked forward to that because it was just like, I don't know, just like goof off or like sit around, do plays, you know. The worst times was when you would go in and it would be like party games, like that was genuinely terrifying. Throw the ball, and when you catch the ball, you say on like the icebreaker stuff. It's like, can we just do plays? Can we just put stuff on? Usually drama. I don't know how it was in other schools, if it was all the same, but we would just like show up. It would be like, oh, today we're doing... Get into groups, this is your theme, come up with a play. And then either like at the end of that lesson or like then you worked on it for like a couple of lessons and then you would just perform it to everyone, like your own class, like on one of the days, you know? It was fun. Yeah, English. English was fun. Language and lit. Lit kind of depended like on the book. But I always liked English language because it just felt like you could just make it up and just like waffle. So many of those like interpretive ones where if you can just know how to like talk nonsense about something and make it sound smart. They're like, yeah. Never did drama. You didn't have to do it for like the first 3 years. Everyone had to do drama for 3 years, and then GCSEs you could drop it. Creative writing, always fun. Maths and science. Totally the other way. Same on drama, had the best teacher. Yeah, the best teacher will like make you love a subject, right? A good teacher. Teachers really be changing lives because they'll get you interested in something and then you continue on that path, right? Because they believed in you or they made the subject seem so interesting that you just like had to carry on with it. Drama free, didn't do drama at school. You guys didn't have to do drama. We had to do it for 3 years. You can only drop it for the last 2. Or am I imagining that? I thought you had to do drama. Oh, can I fix this pipe? Oh, I don't have the stuff. And then year 9, third year, you could pick like 1 humanity, 1 art, 1 tech. And the rest you dropped. That's for you. You know? I picked food tech because why would I not want to make apple pies instead of be in a room making wood blocks? You know? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Stoke, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a lovely stream. It's good to see you. And thank you so much for 68 months. Let us know what you were playing. Kept forgetting the ingredients every time the day before. Mum, I need flour and I need... I need 6 bars of chocolate. I need baking powder. Stopping at the shop on the way to school. Literally, the only thing I remember from food tech was the lessons on gluten. And them talking about how... this is like the stuff that it holds bread together. Inside the food is the gluten and it's stick. And I was just like, what? It kind of blew my mind enough that I like remembered it, but that's all I remember. Three planks. Hey, I'm making your cat house. Oh, you're a little train conductor and you want 3 fish treats. I have 3 fish treats. There you go. My disembodied hand. Nice. How cute is that? A little kitty conductor. Alright, I think we're nearly there for this zone. It's been really chill so far. Probably recycle this. And I couldn't do graphic design because I couldn't draw. I couldn't do... I'm just not very technical in terms of tech stuff. I think it was like graphic design, woodwork, or food tech. And I think later on they added IT, but... I don't know. Let's get these. Nature is at 86%. What else have I got? Got some more water. What was everyone's least favourite? Mine was, of course, maths. I do not have a mathematical brain. 5. Oh, I have 5. Let's do this. Rebuild the railway station. Can I call the train? Finish all quests, level nature to 95%, restore nature 3 times. Okay, we're nearly there. Weirdly, I was in top set for maths, but I just hated it so much. I somehow blagged it. I don't know. I don't have a maths brain. Maybe I did used to have a maths brain and I don't anymore, but... The only thing I was in... It wasn't even a low set. It was that no one took French. But I took French over German, and so many people took German that there was like multiple sets, and French there was only one class, and it was everyone, and it was absolute chaos in there. It was like all the bad kids took French. For some reason. It was such a terrible class. It was so bad. Zora, thank you so much for the 34 resub. Thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing awesome. Did we do everything here? What's this? Some rubbish? Bum, bum, bum. And like one side of the year got to do Spanish. But that wasn't my side of the year, so it's between French and German. Kind of wish I took German now. Here we go, getting the nature up. I don't know how I even ended up talking about school for so long. Oh, drama stuff, yeah. Robert Pattinson. God, the tangled roots we go down, eh? It's not even done. Ba 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 ba. Ba no. Bunny shower. It's just like, just gargling. There we go. What else needs doing? There must be like a big thing. Wait, what was this? I had to do the thing 3 times, right? Nature 3 times. But it's not ready to do yet. Repair the clock, repair the cable and railway barriers. Oh. Ah, there we go. There we go. Of course. Got some pretty good points. Let's get a more powerful jet. Bigger bag, yes. Although my bag hasn't even been full yet, but yeah, it's fine. Oh, they're birds, okay. What needs spraying? Flowers? Yeah, PE, that was always like a toss-up, right? Because you would go to PE and just be like, oh, I hope it's such and such sport that you actually like. And they'd be like, it's the bleep test. Oh, God. What is it that they call the bleep test in America? It's like got different names, but it's that thing where you run back and forth and it goes beep, beep. And like you have to beat the beep and then run back the other way and your lungs just absolutely burn. It is the worst. Literally probably the worst thing in school, honestly, the bleep test. God, me and my friends hated that. Ah, the pace or the pacer, that's it. That's the one I'd heard before, yeah. The worst. We would actually, if we heard people who had it earlier in the day, it would like go around the school, it's the bleep test today, and me and my friends would skip. We'd be like, nope, no thank you. So bad. NJ, thank you for the 22 months. Awful. PE was always football. We had football, rugby, hockey, basketball, netball, like gym, which would just be they would set up like areas where you had to do things, and it was like circuit training. Cross country, like running, but that sounds fancier than it was. It was literally just running around the park. Like athletic stuff, like there was javelins at one point. There was a manky old sand pit they would make us do long jump into, which was bloody awful. Bloody hard sand on a cold British winter, just like every time you landed, just absolute state of it. What else have I got to do? I've done everything. I'm just literally doing the nature stuff now. Triple jump, maybe? Kind of like lumped in with the long jump. And rugby was always terrifying. Oh, you got rugby next week. Bring in your gum shield. Bloody hell. Oh, there's some flowers. Okay. I guess I probably should do this thing. Ah, wait, no, this. Yes, and then I can see what needs cleaning with my sense. Yes, there we go. Psst, 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 cat. Ah, right there, look. Oh my god, he's been going past it every time. Just a big old clump of dirt. Dirt for sale. What else is knocking around here? That one. Yeah, rounders, so fun. Like softball. Definitely a favourite. There we go, third time. Oh, the ducks have returned. Suddenly goose game. So now can I call a train? Is it going to be a cat train? Don't do it! Choo choo. I need one of those like forward facing head cams. I need like a sort of that perspective like that guy on TikTok. Am I getting on the train? Congratulations, nature's restored. Travel to the next location. Yeah. Oh, we're going around the world and cleaning it up. Where was that then? What was that? Here, my geography's pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, that would be Ohio. Right there. Maybe possibly Kentucky. So now we're off to Antarctica, obviously. Dear friend, they've polluted the whole area, blocked our geysers and trapped the whales. These problems become really overwhelming. Please help us in restoring this area to its former glory. Ah, whales. Whales. Who likes whales? Whales are crazy, right? Like when I see footage of like a blue whale, I just think, God damn, you nuts. The ocean. What's down there, you know? Tonight on National Geographic, Mad North presents The Ocean. What's down there? Hi, I'm Mad North. National Geographic came to me and asked me to make sure that they want. I said, ocean? What's down there? And he said, good idea. What's that? What's that down there? Just me pointing at different fish from the boat. Yeah, what's that? What's down there? I have to keep it on brand. You have to say the catchphrase. Yeah, what's down there? And then just a scientist talking about it for like 20 minutes. Ice cold water. The issue would be I wouldn't go in because I'm terrified of open water. Terrified.
A blue whale's heart is about the size of a VW bug car. And a human could if they wanted to swim within its artery or vein because it's that big.
Oh, that's
Can't
crazy.
remember which one. And no, this isn't a CAD fact.
That's crazy. They're so big. Thank the 100 biddies and the facts. The knowledge, the gift of knowledge. And money. Oh, well, sure. Here's the question. What do you prefer? What's cooler? Like, what do you like best? Whales, dolphins, or sharks? And for any reason. Because obviously sharks are kind of scary, but maybe you like them. Maybe you think they're cool. I don't know. Because those are three very different things that a lot of people love, and all kind of have their own thing going on for what makes them interesting, you know? Like dolphins are fascinating. And whales are just so awe-inspiring. And sharks are just legendary. Yeah, like dolphins do so much cool stuff. I feel like given the chance, probably so many animals are crazy smart. And so much empathy. Nature nurture, innit? Whenever you see one of those videos and they're like, well, we raised this cow, he thought he was a dog. We brought him inside, now look at him, he's sitting up there on the sofa. He looks at me with them big cow eyes. And it's like, yeah, cows just act like cows because they're out in the field with other cows. But then they're like raised alongside a bunch of puppies. They're like, he's like a big puppy. He got them real kind cow eyes. They like jazz. Yeah, when they come over, when someone's playing music, like all those kinds of things. Nature. That's why we're saving nature right here. And these sea cows. God damn it. Do you feel like we're gonna see the great battle for like nature in our lifetime? Like kind of a crazy topic, right? And I'm not an expert, so but it feels like it's ramping up, doesn't it? Stuff's getting weird. There's protests. There's people throwing tomato soup on paintings. I'm like, is this what's happening? Bum, 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 bum. It's crazy. What do we need? Oh, I should be recycling stuff. There we go. Nice. The radiation. The ooze. Saw an elephant playing a drum yesterday. That's cute. It's funny how you just suck it up, but you don't have to like spit it out. I'm not like getting it, oh, it's still a little bit there, and then being like, sploop, and getting rid of all the radioactive stuff. Like gorillas doing sign language. Mashed potatoes. Yeah, I saw mashed potatoes. I saw soup getting thrown at paintings. I don't know whether like it makes the rounds anywhere else, but there's like a group that sits in the road here. It's been going on for a while, and like creates traffic and disrupts the roads. That is like, and I think they're the same group, the anti-oil group. And they'll just like, they just show up to like random roads and they just sit in the road. And they do that. They've been doing that like every few months. feels like, I don't know, I guess there's like maybe better ways to do it, but also makes people talk about it, makes people take notice, who otherwise don't. So kind of get it, kind of don't, kind of get it, kind of don't. Yeah, it's one of those things. I am agnostic on all things. Try and see all sides. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. This is reminding me, I should probably look and check when I have to renew all those adoptions, actually. For our little Arcanimals. This is the theme of the day with this game. Yeah, the Don't Look Up vibes. It's crazy, isn't it? Those comparisons. I liked that film. Like, it was maybe slightly too long. But I liked what it was doing. Some of it fell flat, but overall very good. Love me some Leo anyway. Leo. Bum bum bum. Oh, they're Insulate Britain. That's not as exciting, huh? What do we want? Insulation. When do we want it? Potentially within 6 weeks, depending on booking times. Depending on the supply and demand and the in-source of supplies, there is a shipping crisis at the moment, but if we could get the insulation, we could do it within 3 months. It's kind of a bummer we just don't live all solar powered though, right? Just like as the world, just go, do you know what? Should we all just have solar panels? Alright, done. Let's make it happen. Like, we think we couldn't do stuff, right? Because it's like, oh, everything would have to like stop and slow down and focus on it, but to go back, like, for the last 3 years, we kind of did stop there for like a good year. Because something was going on. And we like confronted it and everything else. Not to go down that rabbit hole. But if as the world we went, do you know what? Let's spend a year we'll all work together for a year. We'll get solar panels and everything, we'll do it all, everyone's gonna help out, we'll pick up tools and do this. It could be done. We could do it. You know, let's just stayed inside for a year. We could put solar panels on a roof, you know. Anonymous Mandalorian, good to see you. Thank you so much for the 5 months for the resub. You're welcome. Thank you. Glad you enjoy them. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I would like anyway. We have the power. We have the power to all be living our best lives, you know? Harmony together with each other, with the world. We just don't bloody do it. Oh, get rid of these fishing nets. There we go. That only clean the mud. And that's why I threw the soup at the painting, okay? It was me. Hey, what happened to Morph Streams? I don't know, some viral video, some bear throwing soup at a painting though. Really weird. Shouting something about a podcast to help people sleep as he was being pulled away. Down to sleep on Spotify, Audible, YouTube, and anywhere that you can get podcasts. It's something about audiobooks and softly spoken bedtime stories. Really weird. You'd have thought he would have used the platform to get across his message, but he just promoted his podcast. It's weird. Lowheart, thank you so much for the 4 months. Thank you for the resub. Thanks for using the Prime. Thank you. We did take care of the ozone layer, didn't we? That was such a big deal. That was all the sprays and everything. Like, I remember all that stuff growing up. Deodorant sprays and everything else. That would probably be really fascinating to, like, read how they actually did that, like, what happened. Because it couldn't have just been changing some of the chemicals in sprays and stuff, right? But yeah, that is actually a great example. Which is, I don't know, maybe all these people in power are just waiting until the last possible moment and then they'll throw the switch, you know? They're just like, let's just make a bit more money, boys. Then we'll do it like we did the ozone. I don't know. That, or they're ready to just go to Mars, but... I wonder if I have to get rid of this. Where is this? Are we in Iceland? Or Antarctica? Where was that on the map? What's up, Clara? Hello? Don't know if I said night, Ginger, if I didn't. Good night. I think I did. Oh, Greenland. Yeah, may have been, actually. You know how bad my geography is? Like, I went to Iceland, and I never even really realized that it was north. Like, I thought Iceland was, like, over near Norway and stuff. Like, in the kind of Scandinavian... Like, I literally got on a plane and went there. And I never even realized that it was, like, up that way. Up north. Whatever it is. I think it's like northwest from here. Just assumed it was over there. With the other cold, beautiful places. I mean, it's fine. It's not like I was the pilot. I didn't need to know where I was going, you know. I wasn't sat there with a map. Tree. Terry Pratchett Discworld series. I mean, a fun, but also at the same time, like, painful admission of mine is that I used to buy Terry Pratchett books every so often just because I really liked the covers. And I had, like, a little collection, and I don't know what my family did with them, like, after I moved out. They're probably just, like, in some bag somewhere. But I always loved the idea of the Terry Pratchett books, and I bought like a few. Like every so often I would be coming back from school, and usually I would coming back from school, I would often stop in bookshops. There was like a really nice bookshop in the town. Like I would get one bus, and that bus would stop in one town, and then I would like sometimes hang out in that town for a bit, and then I would get my other bus, which would take me home. And in that town there was a really nice Waterstones bookshop with like 2 or 3 floors and like nice areas to sit, and I would just like browse like the comic section and the graphic novels and like the Terry Pratchett books and the sci-fi section and stuff, and like sit and read for a bit and then go and get my other bus. And so every so often I would buy a Discworld book in there. Like one that I started was Guards, I think it was called. Like I started a couple, but just never really read too many of them. I wish I did, because like I know they're fun. I played the games, which is probably why I even looked at the books, was probably because of the games, actually. They had a bunch of point-and-click adventure games. Like 2 or 3. Discworld 1, Discworld 2, Discworld Noir, I think. And then when I was in college, I would stop at like a pawn shop and look at the music equipment and the DVDs, and that is when I would just buy random DVDs and like Korean cinema stuff and go home and watch it. One of those places that just has like a second-hand like basket of DVDs for like £3, you know? You're just like, that one looks interesting. And it was like the equivalent of renting, but you just got to keep it, you know? Canadian thought Vancouver was a province to the east of Quebec. I wouldn't know which was east and west of what. I like Canada though. I have been. Have all of them, just gave them to your nephew. Ah, awesome gift. There's like so many, right? That must have been a big haul. Are they quite long? Is there any short ones? Because it has come up a couple of times. And I would love to try it sometime, but it's also like, I know that it might be a book I would start and not finish. There's like so many I still need to do. Reese's, thank you for 84 months. That is an amazingly long time. Appreciate it. Puffins, right? Those are puffins. Let's see, points, lots of points. Let's have an extra strong spray. Coming soon. Is this in early access? Pocket recycler. Every few seconds, some of the trash in your pocket is recycled. I should probably get that. Because I am just carrying stuff around. Auto sprinkler in front of you. Bigger water tank. Let's grab that one. Never saw the game. Yeah, the games were like really old. It was on PlayStation 1, the first one, I think. They're on PC as well. And I can remember, I always remember, I've said it before, because that was one of the games that I would call up a helpline. And it was back when people actually answered the phone for these helplines. And it was Psygnosis was who made the game. And it was like some place in Liverpool. And I'd pick it up and be like, oh, it's Psygnosis. How can I help you? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm stuck on finding Rincewind's wizard hat, actually. So, I'm in the University of the Wizards, and I was trying to get the hat, but listen, you know, say what you need to do is, you need to get the book, and then you give it to, such and such, and then he gives you the app. Okay, thank you. This is definitely worth £1.50 a minute. Goodbye. And then I would do that solution, and then I would be stuck like 20 minutes later and call back up, and just like the same guy answers the phone. It's like, oh, Psygnosis, hanging out. Psygnosis helpline. Yeah, it's me again. I was stuck on Discworld still. You can just stay on the phone and talk me through it. As walkthroughs and YouTube and stuff does not exist yet, so I need help, please. For just how obtuse, like, story games are. So hard to get through. Your uncle worked there. Imagine if it was your uncle that I just kept calling up. Just little morph. Need the wizard hat, please. Is that rubbish? It is rubbish. There we go. Point and clicks are so hard. Like, there are a lot of really good looking point and click adventures that I want to play, and I just look at them and I go, I'm going to be stuck and looking at, like, tips the whole time, you know? Bum, bum. Nice. XP. What's the missions here? Oh, what's the button? No? Q. There we go. Repair the paraglider, pick up the fishing nets, repair the geyser controller, clear green acid spills, open barrier, fix lighthouse cables, turn on lighthouse. Ah, the good old days. Sitting with a strategy guide, learning the moves for Tekken. And you'd have to buy a book for like 25 quid just to have a guide. Oh, get rid of that fishing net. Get this mud away from the puffins. Puffins are cool. There we go. Color of Magic is short. That sounds very familiar. Did they make like TV shows of that one, I think? Yeah, puffins. Kind of scary, actually, aren't they? Birds are kind of scary. Like, I like birds. I like birds more than I used to. I mean, I've always liked birds. I don't dislike any animal. But birds are a little bit, like, unpredictable. But the more I see of birds, the cooler I think they are. I feel like someday it'd be nice to have a little friendship with like a... What are the smart... What's the smarter one? The crow or the raven? Or are they both smart? I see videos of them sometimes. Like anything where birds strike up a bit of a relationship with someone and I'm like, sure, birds ain't that bad. Just get kind of anxious around them when they're gonna fly up in your face, you know. Ravens can talk. Maybe that was what I saw. I feel like I saw a TikTok of someone and he had a raven that was wild, but it would like talk to him and he would like say stuff and it would say stuff back and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. Catch me outside just looking up with some seed, you know, just being like, hello, do any birds want to be friends? And then the police show up and they're like, someone's out on the street asking to talk to birds. What's going on? I'm like, no, not those birds, not London birds, actual birds. I'm trying to make friends with a raven. They're like, oh, I've got another one. Stick him in the back. Where have you escaped from? What? Listen, I saw a TikTok, okay? And the crow was talking. Oh, there we go. Some stuff. Oop. Can we get rid of this fence, or does this just exist? Perhaps it just exists. So much grime. This is like probably not a game I would play just for myself, but it is the perfect game to just play and just talk to you with. Things on the screen to click on and do whilst I ramble about school and birds. Great. Perfect. You would need something else on if you were playing this for yourself, I think. Podcast, stream, you know, anything. A video. But it's relaxing enough. And that's what I mean when I say it's like hard when I was like looking at my list and I was just, everything was stuff where I would just be reading the whole time or like doing voices or visual novels and these things. I'm like, I don't want to stream these things. Like I need something like this. I was lucky I had this really. Getting immersed in the story stuff is good sometimes, but sometimes you just want to chill out. Ramble away. It's funny, like, speaking of birds, that stuff about how, like, pigeons are all actually domesticated because we raise them for messages, right? And then we just stop taking care of them. So all of the pigeons that just are waddling around the streets all the time looking for food and getting in the way are actually, like, abandoned pets, kind of, technically, right? Just a sad pigeon. They're just all walking around listening to like Mad World in their inner monologue the whole time. All around me are familiar faces. We used to be useful. And people are like, get out of here, pigeon, flying rat, disgusting. Pigeons, they do be everywhere though. It's the one thing I remember when I was in a music video. At one point, I was like surrounded by pigeons in Amsterdam, and it was just like, I was like 8. It was terrifying. And I can remember the director being like, "We need to get right, come on, guys. We need to get this shot. The kid's getting anxious. Are you right there, Morph? You're right. Just 5 more minutes, Morph. 5 more minutes." I'm just there amongst all of these pigeons in some square, just being like, can we finish now? Surrounded by birds, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. magpies. Do you guys have the magpie? You have to say something when you see a magpie for luck or to avoid bad luck. Hello, Mr. Magpie. How are you today? Isn't it? And it's like 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy. Is that universal? What kind of music video? It was like some sort of Brit indie kind of band, and it was like before they were known, and then like their next album was kind of known, but it was like nothing at the time. It was probably just like on MTV like a handful of times, and then wolves! I saved you from the mud. But they were like kind of known after that, and no, I will not be saying who it was. People just trawling the, finding it on YouTube. I found a baby moth in a music video. But I can remember as a kid that they like kind of got semi-famous after that and were on the radio and had like hits and stuff, and I was like, why couldn't it have been the song that I was in? No, I don't care about that song. People writing down the notes. Right, first album didn't do well, so had some hits after that. The funniest thing was, in a weird like serendipitous thing, then when I like worked in the music industry for a bit, when I was working at some management place, I got sent to like one of these mingle night things that they would have for the industry by the like the manager of the company. She was like, go along to this, and like, you know, because I was like learning still at the time, even though I had a degree in it at that point. She kind of took me under her wing and was like encouraging me to do things. She was like, go along to this, meet people, blah 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 blah. Didn't meet people because I was terrified and anxious, obviously, and it's like, yeah, go along to this bar in London and just meet random people. Good luck. Everyone in here works in the music industry. Good luck. Bye. I spoke to a couple of people on the way in, and I saw someone from the band in there. He must have like gone on to work in the industry himself or something. But it was like a really noisy bar and stuff, and like I thought about it for the longest time. You've been in those situations where like you want to go and say something to someone, or like introduce yourself or something, and you just like, you can't make yourself do it, and I kind of regret it. I wish I'd gone over and been like, hey, I was like that kid in that video that you did like forever ago. How's it going? But it felt weird, and it was like, didn't feel like it was the place for it. I don't know, but I remember at the time I was like, that's so weird, that's so strange, like so many years later, and just like, there he is kind of thing. How random. But at the time I was just like absolutely overwhelmed with the thing of like, I'm here, I'm supposed to be talking to people, and it's like terrifying, so I just didn't do it. But I still think like, I wish I'd had more confidence in that moment. It would have been fun to have gone over and been like, hey, that was me. It's Oasis. I saw Liam Gallagher on the other side of the room and I thought, it's not the time or the place. I wish Oasis would get back together. What game is this? This is... what is this? What is this called? I can't remember. What is it? Fresh Start. There you go. Sorry. My brain's not with it today. I'm really tired. I was literally like falling asleep before I got on the stream, but I didn't want to miss another Wednesday. Wolves. Mingle things are awful though. Anyone who's ever had to go to one of those for any industry and like, oh yeah, go along to this meet and greet night or whatever, it's like, oh, can I not ever do that? Thanks. Bum, ba, bum. There we go. The mud. The concept of networking feels disingenuous. Yeah, I guess it depends like what the goal is, right? Depends on the industry. I guess for a lot of those places it really is like making new business contacts and things. I can certainly feel how it would make a difference, and people can put like names to faces and things when they're like working on the phone. For anything, right? You could be like selling paper, and you like go to one of these things and they're like, yeah, I sell this kind of paper. I sell this kind of paper. Hey, we should team up and sell each other paper. Great. I feel like for most events, it's got to be that simple, right? People are just kind of there to be like, what's your business? What do you do? It gets kind of weirder when it's like some sort of grey area of like entertainment and like you're making friends, but also like people are like, oh, put me on video. Sorry, what? More nature. Let me see. What should I get? Sprinter shoes? I don't feel like I need to be any faster, to be honest. Maybe the Hoover. And also that automatic thing. Oh, it's 400. Let me get some more. Is the water depleting? I don't think it does deplete. I don't think so. I don't know. It's awkward though. Does anyone have to do it often? Like, I've had a few invites recently to different things in London, like gaming things. I'm just like, nah. 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 Talk to people. No, thank you. Stay in my goblin hidey hole and just make content. Cheers, bye. Water. This one's going much faster now. We have more sploosh. Yeah, I guess if you're an extrovert, it's great, right? Some people love meeting new people. Ooh, the sign. Clean it. Get the garbage. There we go, it's filled back up. What are you guys playing at the moment? Anyone playing Overwatch 2? Oh. Whale noises. Viscera Cleanup. That's a fun game. Whenever I think of that, I always think back to when we did a Christmas stream with loads of Viscera Cleanup with like the Santa level. The original Power Wash, Viscera Cleanup. Oh, you streamed it today. Nice, yeah. Who are you guys playing in Overwatch? I hadn't played Overwatch since it first came out. Which was what, like 2016 or something? But I've been playing 2 quite a bit. The new sport, Kiriko. She's cool. Finished replaying Spiritfarer. Wow. That's brave. The emotions. DBD? Oh yeah, their Halloween thing, right? Need a suggestion on a new game? There's been a lot out. I did do a couple of videos on YouTube actually recently. Biggest games and best new indie games. And now I'm remembering that I said I would do a horror one, which I haven't done yet. Oops. But those are on YouTube, and my TikTok and my Instagram is pretty much all gaming recommendations if you need to find something. But yeah, loads of games have been coming out recently. What kind of thing are you after? Who do I main in Overwatch? Who have I been playing loads? Playing a lot of Lucio. Like if I'm healing, Lucio, Bap, Moira, Tank, Diva, Orisa is amazing. Damage, probably Pharah is pretty good. But I either support or tank rather than damage. Like, I like playing damage, but I don't think I'm, like, best in that role. I'm a pretty good tank, though, and I'm a pretty good support. I didn't do the new stuff for Spiritfarer. No, the new characters. It's one of those ones where I would love to do like a fresh play of it at some point, but also like we were talking about earlier, how when a game is like 20 hours, you're like, you know. Especially when it's one you've already done. It's like hard to make yourself do it. I sort of think like, maybe I would do one and just like blast through the other stuff. And then I just remember how long it actually took. Like, it was a full week of streaming that game and sailing around and doing all of the bits in between the story, but amazing game, honestly. Getting up to this lighthouse. You recently started D&D. Congratulations. That's awesome. Clean the steps. Oh, there's a fishing net. Nice. Parfum. Bear and Breakfast is really good. It gets really, really long and grindy after the third area. Which especially, that game took me longer than it needed to because it was when it first came out, and then they patched it and made it a little bit easier and made a lot of stuff more available. But definitely after the third area, I've heard it continues to just get really long and overwhelming. Which is unfortunate because I was really enjoying playing it and the story, but it just got too time consuming. It's one of those games, you go into it and you're like, oh, this will be a really cute, like, 6 to 8 hour thing. And then it's suddenly 20 hours and you're like, what's happening? Why is this long? This didn't need to be this long. Literally me with Potionomics all this week. Bam. How do I get water up here? Do I have to go all the way back down the hill? Warhammer Beta, was it, was that for Darktide? Which is like the new Vermintide, right? But it's 40k. It looks really cool, but I didn't play any of it. I would kind of like to check it out when it comes out, though. Where's the closest place? Here? Ah, I can get it from pretty far away. What's that in there? Fish? Is that mud? Yeah. Would it take as long the second time around, Spiritfarer? I feel like it would. There was a lot of stuff that was very... You had to like make stuff and craft things and feed people their meals and stuff. It's actually crazy how many games came out recently, though. And even on top of all the ones we've talked about, like there was Plague Tale, the new one came out. Like lots of pretty hefty games. Paraglider. I thought a paraglider was the one that's like bat wings. No? Is that also a paraglider? This looks like a gyrocopter. 10 nets. Oh, I've missed a net. Well. Good night, Stoke. Let's find this other fishing net. Yeah, I was planning to do Plague Tale, and then they removed the first one off of Game Pass, and I was like, oh. It's like, now I have to buy it. And I thought it was like a 4-hour game, but apparently it's like 11 hours long, which is surprising. But I finally finished Potionomics today, so I can think about what I'm doing next now. Where is this? Ah, there it is. Cozy Grove. Yeah, that came out a while ago. These flowers while we're here. 97%. Yeah, new Pokemon's November, right? Is it an exciting one? Is it like another big... Like, didn't Arceus just come out? How is there another Pokemon game already? I swear Arceus just came out. Arceus. But is it the same as that with an open world, or is it some sort of remake, or... I really don't know Pokemon. Is this fixed? Throw the switch. Is the lighthouse on? Pick up fixture nets, repair the paraglider, repair geyser control, open barrier. Oh, for the whales. They're stuck there trying to get out. Can I fly this? No. Oh, this is probably what I leave. Oh, this is what we leave in. Ah. Have to finish the quests though. Yeah, I was glad to finish Sallyface. That was bloody long, that game. I didn't realise I only had one chapter left. I thought there was like 8 chapters for some reason, so I was putting it off. We got through it. Got it done. How do I open this? This is what they need to get out. Oh, they've been waiting this whole time. You are free. You should have just gone over the top like Free Willy, but you know, it's whatever, we don't judge. Not everyone can be Shamu. Bye, everyone wave to the whales. Bye. Off they go. I like to think they were just there the whole time honking their whale horns, but it's like too slow for it to like grab my attention. It's like, do you hear the whales singing? Isn't it beautiful? But in whale language, it's like, come on, mate, open the door. We're bloody waiting. Repair geyser control. Fix lighthouse cables. I think the geyser was this thing back here. Bite. Push the button. It's like an open world new one. Cool. Bam. Gaming backlog is a scary thing. Okay, geyser control. Fix lighthouse cables, so then we just go back up there and turn it on. We're at 98%. I wonder if I can 100% this area, if I just get whatever's missing. This thing. What else? Oh, spend my experience points. More water. Ah, bigger grow thing. Detector. Auto recycling. More water. There we go. Lovely. What is this game? This is called Fresh Start. Geezer. Do all geezers smell? By which I don't mean the old man down the local, but like, the ones in Iceland really stank. Like, is that a thing for geezers, that they stink? Does it always have to be like that sulfur smell? Or is that just the Iceland spurs? I don't know why I'm so put off trying Overwatch. Gets off, but trying multiplayer stuff with voice chat might be toxic or anything. I feel like no one ever talks in voice chat on there. Like, if you play unranked and just practice your characters and stuff, like, people are like, heal me, like, if you're trying to be a healer and stuff. Even when you're doing good, like, people will complain, like, you're not healing. But it's generally not super aggressive. They're just like, oh, healer sucked, that's why we lost. But I haven't seen anything crazy. And I've heard maybe like 3 people talk. It is frustrating though. It is a frustrating game. Because it's a proper team game where, like, if the tank is failing you, or the healer's failing you, or the DPS is failing you, like, if someone is not pulling their weight, it kind of falls apart and then you're just like frustrated. Kind of similar to like a MOBA in that way. It's like very hard to carry a game just by being a singular good player. But that also makes it kind of satisfying when it all comes together. Morley finally set up an account, popping in to say hello. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us and going through the effort of making an account. Just say hi. Ah, there we go. How did I miss that? Bam. Bam. Wait, what button is it? Bam. There we go. Turn the lighthouse on. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Robert Pattinson's up there somewhere. And it all comes full circle. Oh, I don't have to clean the litter that's in the bin, because that's where it's supposed to be. Do we leave? Yes. Say goodbye to this beautiful... I had a stroke. Beautiful environment. Let's see where we go to next. Where are we going? China? Is that China? There's pandas, so I'm going to say China. Dear friend, the Great Flood has hit our beloved park and the damage is quite unbearable. It is so bad that even fish have left. Help us. Just don't get bamboozled by those pandas while cleaning. Have a pandastic time. Pandastic is reaching. That's reaching for a pun. Yeah, it's like sulfur that it causes them to like blow up in the air. Yeah, the Halloween event at the moment is fun. Planks. Where are we? Didn't even really look at the environment. I just... Panda bar. Is this Bear Island? This is what has happened since you have last streamed. Oh my god. Better get to cleaning up. Yes. It's so cute. Look at the face. I feel like pandas are bigger, right? You think? Oh, you want me to fix this for you? Is this why we got sad faces on? Because you want me to, like, fix this? What is this? Like a shrine? I need a key. Oh, there it is. That was easy. Ah, I gotcha. Still sad. Sometimes it's just one of those days. Okay, well, sorry. Oh wait, what if I clean it? What if I clean it? Ah? Nah, still feel the sads. That's fine. Okay. It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything sucks. Everything is... Okay, calm down. Pink. Cherry blossom, right? Gorgeous. I feel like pandas actually always kind of look happy, right? Always falling out of a tree or being scared of a sneeze or something. And look at the baby. Oh, I have to water this. Bamboo. Bamboo grows really fast. I know that because of a really disturbing TikTok about how people were put over them. They were used for torture. Sometimes I end up on like true crime, like disturbing-y kind of like, hey, here's like war facts TikTok. I'm like, why? No, go away. It's like so hard to scroll past stuff sometimes that like catches you, and like that kind of like car crash thing where you're like, hang on, what's going on here? And I'm like halfway through a mystery of some terrible tragic crime. And I'm like, this is going to destroy my FYP, but also I need to know what happens. Other times I'm just like, not today, scroll, scroll, scroll. No doom scrolling. I feel like what we kind of allow into our space, right, and the kind of things that you like consume affect so much. So if at any time I wander from cat video, TikTok, and memes and anything else, I'm like, get me back there, because that's... When I'm scrolling, all I want to feel is the dopamine hit and like cute animals and interesting things and stuff that makes me laugh. Like, do not give me any news on that app or anything. I'm not interested. I'm here to forget the world. Bamboo. Lucky Bamboo's very toxic to cats. Just throwing that out there for anyone who has a cat and maybe thinks about buying a Lucky Bamboo. Make sure you put it up high. Should really look up any plant you get if you have cats. And if someone gives you flowers or anything like that, make sure you look up everything that's in there, because there's a lot of stuff that is toxic to animals. And you don't want them to chew on something, as cats are wont to do. Oh, Mythbusters. Man, do you remember we played that game recently? The Mythbusting game. Bam. Yeah, true crime's huge, especially for like podcasts and stuff. I think it's like the kind of advancement or evolution of like those super morbid like crime books that everyone would buy. It's just always been a very popular thing. This area is really pretty. Might be my favorite area so far. Mostly because of those trees. Smallish. There's like a layer to this that is more fun than Power Wash Sim, where Power Wash Sim it like takes too long and feels slightly frustrating. And I like how this is almost like if Power Wash Sim was Lego, this is Duplo. This is Sticklebricks. It's like a lot easier, it's bigger, it's funner, like there's like great, like I'm doing that, boom, I've got a tree, it's pretty. Power Wash Sim is like, let me scrub and like spray this shed door for 10 minutes and then try and find the spot that I missed, you know? And I really like Power Wash Sim. Not a diss on Power Wash Sim at all, but it's like, that's kind of the difference between the games, right? I like this kind of loosey-goosey, lackadaisical, seeing stuff happening. Sticklebricks were amazing. It's like on the Lego video that I did for YouTube for that new Lego game. Someone said, did you have Lego? And in my head I was like, I don't think I did have Lego. I know I had like a limited amount of Duplo, which is like big Lego, right? And in my head I was like, I think Duplo is like the cheap Lego. But I don't think that's true. I think Duplo is just like baby Lego, right? But I feel like Sticklebricks was kind of like poor kid Lego. Like, it had to be. I feel like I have a terrible memory, but from what I remember, Lego has always been really expensive. So like trying to get a Lego set in the toy stores, they're always like for, oh, buy one ship to make in Lego, and it was like 50, 60 quid and stuff, so expensive. So I actually had like hardly any Lego. I had like the same set of figures, off-brand, like G.I. Joe, that you would just get like in a pack at like Toys R Us. And occasional like branded things like Ghostbusters toys I had. That's another thing I kind of want to check out at some point, that new Ghostbusters. Just too much has come out. I don't know why games don't spread themselves out a little bit. It's literally stuff I want to play and I don't have the time to play right now. Like, chill out, gaming. Duplo Junior Lego, yeah. Because it's like bigger and easier. It's like everything's got like 4 holes in it, you know? Oh, is this your home? I need 2 more things to fix it. Ghostbusters looks fun. It does. It looks kind of like somewhere between Left 4 Dead and like really light Faz. Like go somewhere, find the ghosts, and people can play as the ghosts as well. Kind of like Versus Left 4 Dead. I haven't looked at it too much, but I remember looking at the original trailers and being intrigued. Flowers. What's Lincoln Logs? What was everyone's go-to like kids toy? Speaking of Legos and Duplo and Sticklebricks and stuff. What do you remember super fondly that if you picked that up from Toys R Us or whatever existed at the time, that you were just like, ah, yes, score, I got a new Polly Pocket. I got a new Mad Max. No, wait, what was it? Not Mad Max. We talked about this before. What was the boy version? Do you know what I mean? But at the time, like, they did Polly Pocket. Mighty Max, right? I had a Mighty Max. Which was like those little miniature things that you would like open up, and there was like a little world in there. Bam. Oh, more flowers. Definitely had some He-Man toys. Definitely had Ghostbusters toys. A couple of Star Wars toys. Can I repair this? Bam! I had the Ghostbusters fire station, and that was basically my bedside table. for God knows how many years. That was what I had my drink of water on at night. Need more seeds. Action Man was pretty cool. Anyone remembers those? Betty Spaghetti, that's familiar. Where does Playmobil fit in Lego Duplo Stickle Bricks hierarchy? I feel like Playmobil's pretty wholesome, right? I feel like Playmobil is wholesome Lego. That's like how I feel about it. It's like big chunky people with circular round heads and stuff, isn't it? Tamagotchi. Banned in school. Everyone got obsessed with them. I tell it every time virtual pets come up, but I'll never forget my friend getting caught in geography class playing with his virtual pet to feed it, and we all had like the off-brand, like random dinosaur ones. And the teacher took it off of him and he went, "Miss, it will die!" Because she put it in her... she took it and he was like trying to feed it or whatever, and he put it in her drawer. She's like, "Get it back at the end of the class." And he went, "Miss, it will die!" And she went, "Oh, diddums." And we were all so offended on his behalf. We were like, she just doesn't get it, man. What a way to talk to a kid, man. You're gonna kill his baby. I think it survived, but it was just hilarious at the time. It was like, "Miss, it will die." That was an exciting time, though, seeing what everyone's thing hatched out. Little dinosaurs and stuff. I don't think I ever actually had a legit Tamagotchi, though. A 3-foot-tall Michael Jackson doll that I loved. Amazing. Barbies. Etch-a-Sketch. Etch-a-Sketch is the one with the knobs, right? Twist knob to draw. Like, I feel like I could never get with them. Like, it would just always twist it a few times, make some scribbles, and be like, I can't do it. Just literally nothing. It's this doorway. Oh, it's a magical doorway that we go through. And then you always remember, like, whatever random plushie or stuffed toy that you had, right? Unlock a memory, remembering that specific plushie that was with you through so many years. I legit saw something about mine recently. I think it was one of these nostalgia TikToks, and they had like the like brand or whatever that was the stuffed toy that I had, and I was like, oh my god, memory unlocked, and I actively missed the stuffed toy. Seeing it, I was like, that was that little guy. He was with me through so much. Can't even remember the name now of the brand. I like looked it up, tried to find the one, seeing what they were on eBay and stuff. Popple, something like that. I can't remember if that's what I called it or if that was the brand. But it was like a little green, like, monster bear cute thing. Da-da-da-da, 83%. I wonder how many worlds there are. A Popple. That was the name of it? Yeah. And I think I called... I was so like, Puffo. I want my Puppo. Oh, we did this. Clean these up. There's like a bunch of different ones that you could get. Still got the dog and cat from like being 7. It's amazing that you still have them. I wonder where that is, if it is anywhere. I would never have thrown it out, but I feel like my parents, specifically my dad, went through a phase of like throwing stuff out at one point. And there was like a lot of stuff that I didn't manage to save. That may have been one of them, but also maybe stuffed away somewhere in a box, I don't know. It's hard when you like move out and then leave a lot of stuff behind, and then I had like a lot of younger siblings, like space had to be made, so a lot of my stuff just kind of like disappeared, you know? What? Break the panda. Oh, the panda's. Oh, there's more than one? Oh, there's one on each island. Quest finished. Tea saplings, those are. These things. There's one. There's more? What's this? Oh, it's the recycling. Mysteriously missing toys, yeah. Which is like fair enough. 6 years later, you're like, where's this one thing? And they're like, I don't know, maybe in the loft. And then it's just like 5 hours of trying to find it. Ah, can I fix this yet? Oh, I still only have one. Okay. Satisfying. Koi. Ah, there's one. Yeah. The one stuffed animal like an Easter egg in every family photograph. Little post-credit scene. Ducks. Oh. That's where those toolboxes come from. Okay. I should hit that button more often. Look how quickly that found something that I needed to do. How far away can I hit it from? Not that far. If anyone wants like a similar kind of cozy vibe thing, but with like less rambles about my life, Paradise Marsh is really good on YouTube. I put that up yesterday, I think. It's like this, but catching bugs and stars and poetry and things. But it's like a very interesting game. It's only an hour. Or if anyone's looking for something super chill to play. Oh, need another one. Yeah, I liked Paradise Marsh. It surprised me for sure. Just missing one of these. Aha. Bam. Or bear with bamboo sticks, but I'm going to pretend they're chopsticks. Getting all the pad thai flavor off of after having some noodles. Kind of really wanted noodles today, actually, but everywhere was closed. I was like, man, if that street food place is open, I'm going to Deliveroo some pad thai, but it wasn't. So I had to get Subway, and then I just felt really sleepy because I ate so much bread. So much bread. You think I'm here for the stories? I'm glad people enjoy them. I kind of have like the same set of stories that I just repeat like some sort of stuck record, to be honest. Just reliving the same kind of periods of my life over and over again when I get into these kind of rambly, nostalgic games, but you know, it is what it is. 3. Now I can do this. Nice. It's probably one of my favorite ways to stream is just like a game like this and just kind of ramble on about whatever and have conversations. I think that's when I enjoy streaming the most. I mean, there's a little bit of like chat and questions and back and forth and people say things and that like takes you down another kind of line of rambling away for a bit. Those are probably, when the vibe is there for that kind of thing, that's like my favorite, I think. And then up there with that is like when we used to do like you get into like a really good story game and kind of like go through that adventure together and stuff. You need so much longer to do those games. Uh, 93. Let's do a scan. Scanning. There's a tree over there. For whatever reason, just like so many of the story games recently have just been heavy reading. Which is not the kind of style. Like, I like playing them and I like making those videos, but it's not the kind of style that's ever made for like a good stream, because it's like hard to immerse and just do voices for like 6 hours, you know? And then like talk to people in between and stuff. Doing some crazy voice and then being like, so anyway, what's your favorite type of dog? Find the balance. What am I missing? We're at 93%. Done all the quests. What needs doing? It's got to be just some of these flowers somewhere, right? There's one. Do I work? Full-time content. It is full-time. Ah, restore the natures. I like the music in this area. Leveled up? I feel like I've leveled up so much. I didn't even... There we go. Coming soon. A sprinkler? Auto sprinkle. Auto hoover. I don't really want those. Just pocket recycle some more. Oh, power hoover. Ah, and he spent too much. Damn it. There you go. If I use my G, I should be able to find them. Yeah, so we like have the gaming stuff, and then that's like YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and then I have the podcast, which I want to do more with. I want to do even more time on the podcast. Da-da-da-da. And then it's like, just even with the gaming, like doing long form and short form, it's just it's so much, but it's good. And I'm lucky that it's been going well after so many years of streaming and just streaming for so many years. All of a sudden, incorporated a bunch of other things that then kind of did alright, you know? And then of course, when anything does alright, I'm like, okay, now that's my life now. Now I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can on that thing. Let me make it all happen. And just, you know, go mental on it. If you guys saw my like Notion to-do list, you'd be like, this is a crazy person. $97. Let me go back to the beginning and then Rome. Yeah, video editing does take a long time, although I'm kind of lucky that my style of like very little editing and long form is working out. Why is that not... There we go. If I had to do like these crazy edits that everyone does, where like a 6-hour thing becomes a 10-minute video filled with memes and sound effects and crazy cuts and stuff, I would not manage, I don't think. Boop. 98. Oh. There we go. Just kind of want 100% this area. These. I love getting to make content though. 100%, nice, we did it. And whatever I did, I think I would always have to be like making something. And it's nice making stuff like, I say for people, but it's not like I make it just for people, do you know what I mean? Like it is, I want to make the stuff that I make, and I do try and focus more on that of like, do what you want to do, make what you're going to make. Like it's one of the most important things you can do, I think, with content, because at least if you're happy with it, once it goes out, it doesn't matter what happens with it, you know? It's always the things that you tried to make for other people or you thought they would like, and then when it doesn't do well, you're like, why did I even do that thing? But if you at least you're happy with it, and then whatever happens is a bonus, like that's the best way to approach it. What was my point? Anyway, I'm happy I get to make stuff, and I think whatever I do, I would always want to be making stuff like for me and for other people. Like, so whether it would just be like the podcast and doing things like that, it's just like a joy, honestly. Off to Australia, koala bears. I've nearly completed this game.